Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to today's webinar about Lumens CamConnect tracking solution for PT-set cameras with Xeelink microphones. My name is Leon Gall. I'm a product manager at Exertis AV in Germany and responsible for Lumens. This is the second webinar we are hosting today. This is exclusive for the Eastern European market, and it will be held 100% in English. The webinar this morning was in German. And next to me is Joris Nievens, who is General Manager for Europe at Lumens, and he will be presenting the CamConnect solution to you today. We are set in a demo room at Exertis AV in the headquarters in Germany. Over us is a Yamaha Adesia ceiling microphone. We are working with a Lenovo MTR system in here. We have two big new line screens and set up the Lumens CamConnect systems with two Lumens VCR30 cameras, which are connected to the CamConnect solution. I don't want to mention too much in front, so I'm very happy to hand over to Joris Nievens. If you guys have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to use the chat function. We will answer your questions after the presentation. And yeah, have fun.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Joris Nievens from Lumens. I'm doing the webinar because my colleague Robert Kollerick is on a well-deserved holiday. He's our Eastern European sales manager. But if you have any questions, you can always contact us, Robert or me, if we cannot answer the questions today. So we're going to talk about the Lumens CamConnect solution. And before we talk about the Lumens CamConnect solution, we just want to give an overview of what is available at the market today. As you can see in this picture, a lot of rooms are equipped with a wide-angle camera that is set up to take in the whole room. It's a good solution in one way. It always works. It's not difficult. It always gives you an image. But as you can see in this picture, you have to put the front chairs also in the picture, that if people are there, they have to be seen. But the person in the back is a lot smaller than the person in the front. So for meeting equity, this is not the best solution to have. When we look at other solutions, so the single wide tracking camera we already discussed, what do you have? You have these semi-autonomous or intelligent cameras, auto-framing cameras. They're good. They will detect the amount of people and they will zoom in or crop in. The only problem you have there is that you are working mostly with a non-optical zoom camera. So that means you are reducing the image quality. And if somebody is sitting very far away, you cannot zoom enough. So for that, the best solution for these setups is, let's say, a multi-camera production solution. So that means you have multiple PT-set cameras with optical zoom. You can switch between people, but as you can see in this diagram, they need an input as of today. So you need somebody to touch the flashy buttons, to work with the joystick. You need a person to switch the cameras, and then you can very well operate with multiple cameras and multiple microphones to follow a presenter. We don't say that this is a bad solution. This is a very good solution, but we think we can automate this in the world of AI. How did we do this? Our first steps into the auto tracking world or audio tracking world, I have to say, was our CamConnect Lite software. This is a software that is free to download still of today. You can download from the Lumens website, and it will connect to your Yamaha, your Shure, your Sennheiser, and your Nureva microphones. And it will get the angle data from them. It will send them over IP to a PC that is running the software. And then you can connect a camera from Lumens over USB, and it will do the control. If this is what you need, it's a very good solution. And it's very cheap. You only need one camera over USB, and it will do the movement as you want. But then we got questions saying, Joris, working with a Windows PC, it's not always that. If I have an MTR, I'm not always allowed to put on software. Can you guys not make something in a box? Voila. And we listen to the customers, and I'm just going to ask Leon to give me the box. Leon, yeah. So then we said, okay, we're going to make a solution in the box. And this is the size, just to give you an example. What is this? 10 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 2 centimeters high. And this is a box that will do everything automatically for you. You don't have to install anything on the device. It will connect to an AWS server for regular updates if you want it to do. If you don't want it to connect, it will not do. And what are the connections on this box? So on the front, let's call this the front, you have an LED light that just gives you the status of the device. On the back, yep, you have an HDMI and a USB-C out. They can give you the signal, the switch, as what we are looking now. We are connected the USB-C into the Lenovo MTR, and you have the HDMI that is on the other PC that I have in front of me. I will show you later. There you can set up the device, or you can also use it as an output. There is a power connection, so USB-C to connect it for power. And on the side here, we have the all-known IP connection to connect to the multiple microphones, to connect to our cameras, and then another USB-A camera if you would like, or a mouse and a keyboard to set up the system. On top, you will see a small fan. Why did we build in this fan? The fan is because we give 5-year warranty on all of our products. So also on this box. If this box is standing here on the table, this is a well climatized room, there will not be a problem. But if you put this in a server rack, that means that it can get hot. So then the fan can kick in to keep the chip inside as cool as possible. When we continue, we can talk about the inputs. What are the inputs on the device? Of course, the microphones. The microphones will give us the directions. Why do I say microphones? Because we can connect up to 16 microphones. And those microphones can be of different brands at the same time. Joris, why the hell should I need 60 microphones or more than 2 microphones? That is because we're going to work with profiles. And what does a profile mean? Let's say this is our meeting room. We're sitting in here, but you cannot see it. But in the back, there is a dividing wall, and there is a meeting room next to it. So if I want to make profile 1, this is listen to that microphone and control these 2 cameras. If I want to extend this meeting room and add the space behind the wall, I can do that, call it profile 2, and then listen to the multiple microphones that are on this in these 2 rooms and control more cameras. The limitation on cameras is 4 at the same time. You can connect a lot of cameras over IP, but you can only output simultaneously 4 microphones in here. And then we have the setup of the device. This is a print screen of the software, but I think it's better if I switch over to my other PC here and I can show you the UI of the device. I will show it to you here on HDMI out, but all you can do in this setting, you can also do over the web browser connecting over IP. There you go. So now you see the UI of the CamConnect box. You see a lot of things are grayed out. That's because we are using this CamConnect, but you will, I think you can see it clearly. The first thing you can see here on the top is the device numbers. In here, you can set up to 16 different microphones. They will appear here as an extra tab. What do I need to know? The only thing I need to know is the IP address of the individual microphone. So in this case, it's a Yamaha RMCG. I look up the IP address, I type it in here, and I say to the CamConnect box, this is a Yamaha RMCG, and the rest is done. The communication port is set up, the communication language is done, and I just connect and boof. How do I know that this thing is working? You see this green light. And now it's coming back. You see, when you see the green light popping on and off, this means this is the angle of where the camera is. So this is how you know that the system is connected.
For example, if I start to work, you can see the green dot is jumping to another angle position. In this case, it's also a different camera. And if yours is walking behind me where we set up some flip chart and starts talking, you can see that the two presets are very near next to each other. And if he starts talking,
so I will now take over the preset. So if I start talking over here, I have to be a little bit closer. Sorry, there you go. So then we will have the flip chart and I can start discussing on the flip chart. As you can see, or I can see, Leon is standing over a very small angle degree behind me. So we can set up very precise presets to make individual spots at a table. And if then I move again to my chair in here, voila, I can continue to present the CamConnect. So thank you, Leon. This is how these angles here, you can set up yourself. And what is nice to see in the bottom, you get the actual angle where you're sitting. So it's easy to set up a left and right minimum, which is, I have to say, an idea of Robert Kollarick. So thank you again for that.
Is it also able to adjust the time to switch cameras?
Yes. So what we set up for this meeting is, because we are polite people, or we consider ourselves to be polite people, is we set up the trigger time here to 0.5 seconds. What does that 0.5 seconds mean? If somebody is talking longer than 0.5 seconds, that means the camera needs to trigger and go to the other position. You can turn this up or put this longer to 1 second, 1.5 seconds. If you don't want like a slamming door or something else, people in the hallway, if you have a glass window, you can set it up that the time needs to be longer. I have to say we are using here a Yamaha system, and Yamaha system has a very good noise cancelling system. So it only activates on the voice. So if somebody slams the door, it is not going to twitch. Or I do this. You see, there was no green light. So that's why we can set it up as 0.5 seconds. For the rest, you can set a back to home trigger. What is a back to home trigger? Is because we don't have a direct connection with the MTR over USB. We don't know when the meeting is over. So you can say after 3 minutes of non-speaking, you go to your home position. Or if you're listening to the far end side, go to like a wide angle shot. And for the rest, what do we have in the bottom? You can connect your cameras. You can give them another name. But for marketing reasons, we kept the device name as the R30. And here under PTZ control, I cannot show you because we're connected. But in here, you can set up the presets. So you don't need to use a remote control or the web browser of the individual camera. You can just do it from the box. And then what you do here, you have the angle, you set up which camera you want to use and its preset number, and you're done. So you see, it doesn't take you a lot of time, or you don't need to be the biggest engineer to set it up. What are the other settings? I will discuss a little bit further in the presentation, are also side by side. Also, what you can set up is a DHCP or the IP address of the device and what the device needs to do when it starts up. Now we can continue with the presentation, because I want to also talk about the advanced features. We cannot only, like we are doing here, switch one image to another image, what we call seamless switching. What we also have is different layouts. For example, a side-by-side, as you see on the left, or even a quad screen. If you have multiple cameras, 4 in this case, you can have something like a gallery that you have the individual people in there. Why do we recommend to have this side by side? It's like when I had a discussion with Leon, the far end side, if it just switches people, you don't see the reaction on Leon's face when I say something. If you put a side by side, you will always have an image of the previous person who is talking plus the actual person who is talking. Then we have another feature called intelligent presets, because, okay, what can happen? The cleaning man, cleaning lady, they move the chairs a little bit. So you set up all your presets. The next day, somebody moved the chair. Do we then need to all set it up again? No. What we do is we do intelligent presets. I can have a movie that we made in from our Taiwanese friends. So you will see Micra, head of our software department, speak. Then you have Jay, and you see the algorithm detects that our friend is not in the middle of the picture. So it will then go back and crop you in. Because as you saw in this picture here, when we do a side by side and you want to keep 16 by 9, you need to crop the image. So you want the persons always to be in the middle of the shot. And then a last thing we can do on this current firmware version is presenter tracking. What is presenter tracking? It makes every non-tracking camera, it gives them the possibility to do audio and video tracking. So that means if we had an interactive whiteboard behind me and we say, okay, in that area, you need to start following the person, we can do that. So you have to believe me on my word that this is not a tracking camera, that this is an A51P in this case. So you see the by sound location data plus the AI of centering the face in the middle, we can do tracking functionality with this AI box. So this is ideal for, let's say, universities where you have somebody in the front who's talking and you still want to switch to people in the audience or a big meeting room table. So how does a setup looks like? For example, in here, you can consider this as a university or a big meeting area. So you have two cameras on the front, poof, who are taking the people in or taking the students in. So if they ask a question or want to say something, you can use presets for that. And then if somebody's walking in the front, you can use presets or the tracking functionality. You have, in this case, 3 microphones, can be 2, can be 1, depending on how you want to do it. They are all sent their data over IP onto a Netgear switch. We say Netgear because we love the Netgear AV line, but it can be just a PoE switch. Sends it all over there, connects it into the CamConnect box, and he will bring out a USB to a PC or an HDMI to a capture device, and you can continue. This is then a little bit more of a schematic how it can look like. You have 4 microphones going into a Netgear switch, 4 IP cameras connected into it, Lumens AI box, sends it out to an HDMI monitor if you want to, and goes into an MTR. As you can see on this picture, there is still a USB connection from the Yamaha RMCR DSP that is going into the MTR for audio. This is going to change soon. I will tell you more in a couple of slides. And then as a last, because ClickShare is a dominant force in the video conferencing market, we already made sure that the AI box, the CamConnect Pro, is ClickShare certified. So that means you can take the USB into the ClickShare CX20, CX30, CX50 and send it over as a camera. And then you can also take the audio from another source, in this case, again, the DSP. So if we want to combine everything, what do we do with this device, or what can it do? It can accurately pick up the sound location and create a very good sound because of the use of high-end ceiling microphones or tabletop microphones that we're using. It is the best case of video follows audio. There's nobody who needs to touch the flashy buttons. Everything is going as you want. It's an easy setup. You set it up, you let it run, and you forget even that it exists. And then it does, as we said, automatic switching of the video without you having to think what needs to happen. And then a little sneak peek into the future. So we have an Excel list of at least 134 features that customers want to add into the system. So if you think about something, please don't hold yourself back. Come to us. We will investigate if it's possible, and if it's possible, we will implement. Like, for example, on the next firmware version, which is the end of this month, in a couple of days, we will do 2 cameras per preset. Why? Let's say if camera 1 is on Leon, But camera 1 is also the camera that is specified for me. That means you will see the movement. What we can then do is take your backup shot of camera 2, make the switch so that you don't see the movement of the cameras. As explained, UAC and UVC. So we will also be able to add on the secondary USB-A input the sound data from a DSP. So that means we will be able to deliver you sound and video over one USB cable or one HDMI cable. What do we do with manual control? Manual control means that, let's say, every camera that is now connected to the CamConnect box and uses that USB or HDMI out is controlled by the microphone. But sometimes you don't want that. Sometimes you want in your Teams meeting, you still want to use the camera with a joystick, with an Extron, a Crestron control, and just set it up as a wide angle shot. You cannot do that. You should then take another cable, go in there. No. From the end of September, you can set the CamConnect mode in a kind of decoder mode, and then it only decodes the stream that you want and sets it out. So then it becomes a decoder / matrix for IP cameras. And then another feature is we will continue to add other brands and other microphones from already existing brands into the system, like the Sennheiser TCC-M, the Audio-Technica, Biamp. These brands will come in the future onto the platform. Thank you very much for already getting to this stage. If there are questions, I would love to answer them. So I will look at Leon and see if there were questions in the Teams.
At the moment, Joris, there are no questions at all. Maybe this will change in a couple of seconds. If someone has questions about CamConnect or the capability of the system, this is your time to ask. Please use the chat function to do so. And yeah, we will wait a couple of moments. Still no questions, but if some of you might have questions after our presentation, all of you will receive a mailing where you have detailed contact information for your requests. Feel free to reach out to the Eastern European sales representative or your account manager. Everyone will be capable of answering your questions. The CamConnect box itself will be available soon. We expect the system. I see there's a question. We expect the units to be here in at least 2 weeks. And everything else we mentioned here is in stock. So now there is a question. So to be clear, only Yamaha mics are supported for the moment. And Shure, Sennheiser, etc., are for the future release. No.
So at the moment, I will get you the list of all the microphones. But at the moment, Shure, Sennheiser, Nureva, and Yamaha are supported. 1 second, I will. Yeah, my click share is.
Now it's working.
Now it's working. Here you go. You will temporarily not see the video, but then I can show you all the microphones that are in the list. So as you can see here in the drop down, you have the Shure MXA 910, 920, MXA 310, the TCC2 from Sennheiser, Nureva HDL 300, 310, 410, and the Yamaha RMCG. We are currently adding the Yamaha TT series as the tabletop microphones. The TCC-M is also coming very soon. And then Audio-Technica, when I saw on the list, that will be for next month adding. So already a whole lot of microphones that are connected.
So the second question we received is also, oh, that's a nice perspective. We have no camera at the moment, Joris.
Coming for you, my friend. Because I needed to show the brands, I had to disconnect the camera.
And there's still no camera.
It's there, switching, voila.
So the second question we received about other ceiling microphones is if the system is working with a clear one BMA 360. No, not at the moment. But Joris just showed the list of new microphones which will be supported.
Yeah. So at the moment, to be honest, it's overwhelming the demand. So our goal is to add every possible brand. I will look into the list and we will answer you with the estimated date of when we will support this camera or this microphone. Because how we do our updates, instead of sending every week or every 3 days an update onto the system and the device gets it, we will do every last Friday of the month. We do a big update of everything. So it's also then very easy for us to send you the specific date of adding a specific brand. But we will come back to you about a clear one.
So since there are no further questions, I would like to thank you guys for your attention. For your requests, please reach out to your sales or your account manager. Like I mentioned before, the Lumens CamConnect box will be ready to ship soon. All other products like the cameras, the ceiling microphones are on stock. So we do have the Yamaha Dacia ceiling microphone system with all peripheral devices. We do have the Sennheiser TeamConnect Ceiling 2 on stock. Feel free to reach out to your account manager. Thank you for your attention. You will receive a mailing afterwards with the link from the recording of today's session and our contact information. So thank you very much, and I wish you a successful day.
All right, thank you very much. And if anybody of you still needs to go on holiday, have a good holiday, and otherwise have a good start of the quarter. Thank you. Bye.
Take care, everyone.